Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we are back with another Mattel Jurassic World Chaos Theory release. We've got the brand new repainted version of the Danger Pack Dsungaripterus, which is pretty exciting because this is only the second time we've seen this species in the Mattel line, and I think it's a very cool species of pterosaur, one that we don't see very often. In fact, I can't think of anybody else that has one out, which is something I can often say about Mattel species choices. And again, it looks okay. It definitely, in my opinion, doesn't look quite as nice or flashy as the first release that they had out, but still pretty fun regardless to have a new color variant of this. It's one of the more rare instances as far as recent Mattel goes where it is just a straight up repaint and not like a newly sculpted version. I don't see anything on this one that leads me to believe it's a different sculpt, just a new paint variant. And then here on the back you can see the other figures that are in this wave of Danger Packs, all of which we have actually reviewed after this one, except for the Dimetrodon. I did not grab that one yet. I need to grab it probably at some point, or at the very least maybe like take a closer look at it in store and then decide if I should grab it, because I'm pretty sure that is just like legitimately the same figure as the Dominion one that was out already, so I don't think that there's much of any reason to grab it. But if I do notice something different on that one, I will of course grab it and put a review up so that you guys can see that there is something a little different. But again, pretty fun wave as a whole. Definitely some really cool species in this one, so let's pop this out of the box and check it out. So here is our Dsungaripterus, the new version, and again it looks pretty cool, but when you look at it, you can see the paint apps aren't anything really to be too crazy about. It's not until you turn it over and you see the undersides of the wings where you really see a little element of flashiness to this one, where it kind of draws you in a little bit more, makes you appreciate it a little bit more, because once you look at it from up above, it's kind of lackluster, kind of boring. But it is still, again, fairly naturalistic looking, maybe not the most natural with these crazy lightning strikes on the underside of the wings, but it still does look really quite cool. So let's jump to a closer look and we'll check it out from there. So since this is basically just a repaint, there's nothing that's really new sculpt-wise we need to go over, and since we have already reviewed the original figure, we don't need to go over the sculpt again. So we really only need to focus on what's different on this one compared to the first release, and of course that would be the coloration. So you can see the primary body color for our Dsungaripterus is without a question a gray. You can very much so see that through the entire figure. We've got a whole lot of gray going on. But here in the face, we do have a little extra color. First of all, in the crest, you can see we've got like kind of like a red-orange sort of a tone, and you can see that also extend into the back of the crest back here, which looks really cool. It also kind of leads down here and sort of stripes down into the beak a little bit and then back into the eye area. I think that looks okay, plays off of the grayish colors fairly nicely, but the one thing I really love about this area are those blue eyes. The tone of blue they've used, the overall type of paint they've used, everything about that looks really nice to me. We also have a nice black pupil in there, which is a huge plus because sometimes we don't get black pupils on the Mattel releases. You can see we have a greenish tone here for the lower jaw, but unfortunately that greenish tone doesn't actually lead down into the throat or anything. It is literally only the lower jaw, and that's it. As we open the mouth, you can see we've got the pinkish tone, of course, for the tongue and everything. You can see teeth on the inside of this pterosaur's mouth, but no coloration for the upper side of the inside of the mouth. And you can also see that, again, we've got like a white tone for the teeth, which are kind of painted decently. It's a little sloppy for the lower jaw as far as the teeth go, but up there it actually looks all right. And then again, obviously, we have an articulated jaw. As you move back, you also have the ability to articulate the neck up and down, so you've got some more nice articulation in that area. But as you lead back at that point on the upper side of the pterosaur, as you can see, there is zero color at all on this figure. As you lead out into the wings, you've got nothing. You don't have painted nails, maybe a little bit of a satin shine for the nails, but no actual nail paint. Same deal over here. And when we get nice and close, you can see there is a slight speckling, but it's not very abundant, and my camera will not focus correctly. it's not very abundant. You actually very rarely even see those speckles on the figure, so you don't even have a little extra variation of color as far as that goes. Now, when you do turn it around and you take a look at the underside, you can see there is a bit of a darker gray as you lead out into the undersides of the wings, and then we've got this very cool orange sort of lightning strike look that moves through the course of the undersides of the wings. It also has a little bit of a shine to it, which helps it stand out, but I'm honestly unsure if I like it on the undersides of the wings or if I think it would have looked cooler on the upper sides of the wings. Again, I'm not really sure. I think maybe they probably went with the undersides of the wings specifically because this is a more skin textured area for the pterosaur, and when you turn it around, the upper sides of the wings are completely covered with pycnofibers. I don't know if maybe that was the reason that they chose to go the route of the, again, extra coloration on the underside of the wings. I'm not really sure, but it does look cool. Definitely looks flashy, no doubt about that. We do also have, of course, articulation in the wings, which can go up and down to give you a nice flap. And then you can also, again, swivel those. And then you have articulation in the legs, but as you can see, both legs move together. They cannot move independently. And then we've got the, oh, I just closed it already. We've got the fax app code on the back of the pterosaur, so you can add that one to your collection if you would like. But overall, there's not really a whole lot that's super exciting about this one, but it is still fun to see this species come back again. Now, as far as this figure goes, I don't feel like we really need to measure it. We don't need to do comparisons, none of that stuff, because again, the figure as a whole is the exact same Dsungaripterus we had the first time around. Doesn't look like anything's been altered, nothing's been updated, so we already know the size of it. We already know pretty much everything about the figure as far as like comparisons and everything go, so no need to do any of that stuff. But I will say this brand new Mattel Jurassic World Chaos Theory Danger Pack Dsungaripterus is still kind of fun. Again, just based on the fact that it is a Dsungaripterus. It's a species of pterosaur you just don't see get figures ever, so it's very exciting to actually have one from Mattel. Mattel has always been pretty good, I think, at creating species that you don't see very often, especially lately, so it is nice to see them again bring this species back because it is such a beautiful one. But the original, in my opinion, is definitely the superior of the two. I would say without a doubt that one is the more appealing color scheme and everything. This one is a fun, extra version. It's fun to have this one just to go with the other one, to maybe have different color variants of the pterosaur again flying in your display if that's what you choose to do, but it's nothing overly amazing. And again, if you don't really like having doubles, I would say just stick with the first version because the first version is definitely the superior in my opinion. But overall, it is still a pretty fun figure, so if you are interested in grabbing it, head to your local Walmart because that is exactly where I found mine. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.